I really love the whole process of high rocks. I think I love the running, I love the strength, I love the hours on the easy ergs, I even love that. And I think I know that I have the mindset to get there, and I love the process of getting there. I'm Izzy and I'm a high rocks athlete. I'm currently at uni. I'm in my third year studying history with Spanish. I'm also alongside that teaching myself to be a physiotherapist. So I want to go back to uni after I finish history to do that. And then I work as a PT in my uni gym alongside that. I think I've learned that there's two ways you can approach it. I think I'm really good at forward planning. So make sure all my uni work's done way in advance, just so that I have the time to put into my training when it matters. So, over Christmas, I completed all my work for term 2. So I'm 10 weeks ahead, just so I can spend that 15, 20 hours a week training. And something I've learned recently is it's hard to juggle everything at once, and you have to prioritize different points in different points in your life. So right now I'm at a big point with uni, but in a few weeks or so, I'll be back on my training, and then, you have to juggle. You have to be very disciplined, and I think you have to really want it. I've sacrificed a lot at uni. I don't have the normal uni experience that all my friends have. I go to bed at 8:30, I wake up at 5, I don't go out, I don't really drink, I don't do my uni work an hour before the deadline at midnight. And I think you really just have to really want it and be really organised and disciplined, because if you don't want it enough, you're not going to be willing to make all those sacrifices. And for example, in your social life. So yeah, you just have to remember your why. I think just to prove to myself. I really love the whole process of high rocks. I think I love the running, I love the strength, I love the hours on the easy ergs, I even love that. And I think I know that I have the mindset to get there, and I love the process of getting there. So I think I just, to prove to myself that I can do that. I think high rocks is a new sport, and there's so many girls that are getting those really great times, and it's always getting better and better and better at such a fast rate. And I think it's scary to think, can you keep up with that fast rate? A year ago, the times to get into those elites was nowhere near what it is now. And now so many girls getting closer to that. And it's just that fear of, giving your all and that's still not being good enough. But I think there's no point really in worrying about that. You can just give what you have and trust the process. I think, again, it's difficult to say because it's moving at such a fast pace, but I do truly think I can get there. Looking at my first ever pro time, it is quicker than a lot of the elites' first pro time was. So physically, I think I've got it, but I think it's the mentality that's the big thing. And I think having so much to juggle whilst being at uni and still being fully committed to it has just proven that, I think I can get there. And I'm so determined to get there. I think I've accepted it's a long-term goal, but I will not stop until I reach it. I think number one is not comparing, because I think it's so easy to see all these great high rocks times on social media and TikTok and Instagram and be like, oh my gosh, all these girls are doing the same. I've had those moments of self-doubt, why would I be able to get there when there's this mass of girls that are also really fit? But I think just focusing on my own journey and getting some quicker times. I want to put down a very fast women's pro doubles times and get closer to that 101, 102 mark by the end of the year. But yeah, I think just focusing on my own journey, I'm very new to actually training properly. I don't have a massive training history of intense training when I was really little in running or weight training. So I think one benefit that I have is that I'm still at the beginning of my journey and I still have so much progress to make. I'm nowhere near hitting that plateau. And yeah, just really like giving my all to that. I always say I come from a running background, but I really don't. I always ran at school, but like just like the school cross country and like once every few weeks. I think I say I come from a running background because that's definitely my strength in high rocks. It's just something that's come naturally. But as a child, I kind of just did everything. I did karate, I did hockey, I swam, I did tennis. Like I just did a bit of everything. I never really found like something that I was like really invested in and really loved and like found my place. So I just tried a bit of everything. And then I actually did a charity run. It ended up being like 30 miles. And that was the first run I ever did, like properly. That was when I was 17, I think I did that, maybe 18. And everyone was like, oh, do you run? And I was like, no. I ran like 1 mile to train before it. So I did that, and then kind of getting feedback from how quickly I ran that, I joined athletics at university in 2023. And then I went and watched a friend do a high rocks, and I was like, this isn't him. So I immediately signed up for one and got training for it, and then the rest is history. I kind of put all my focus into that because I liked the idea of doing a bit of everything. I've always done a bit of everything. I liked the idea of doing a bit running, a bit of strength, a bit of the like high rock specific stuff. I liked the variance of it in training. There was a moment about a year in to when I did a high rocks when I was kind of like, I always thought high rocks would be something that I did, but that I could never do well in. Like, you know, like most people that run a marathon aren't trying to win. They're just trying to beat their own time. And I thought that it would always be like that for me. And then I came second and I was like, oh, this is actually something that I could compete in. Like I'm an athlete, whether I am or not. If I act like I'm one, I sleep like one, I recover like one, I eat like one, I train like one, then I will get there. So that is what I did from that moment on. But then I didn't really know how to do that. So I was just absolutely like messing up my body every week, like training too much, not recovering right, not eating right. And I was just so fatigued all the time. So I think getting that coaching and that guidance on how to properly go about that. I mean, I can handle very high volume, but the way that that is structured in a week, where to pull back, when to deload, when to race, like he really helped me with like when I should peak and not, has like really been transformative in getting like better time. I think I've always wanted to go the extra mile with everything and like give my all and always do more and always get better. And I think that has come in my training, but I've kind of neglected that recovery wise for a long time because I've thought, I don't need to take a rest day. I can do like another easy session. I can just do another hour on the bike. And I think having the farm club, you know, like all round support has just been really helpful for, you know, like the sauna, the like yoga and Pilates for like stretching his muscles out, the injury and performance clinic for getting a sports massage has just been really helpful for that like recovery side. And then also the protein for the nutrition side has just been helpful for becoming a better all-round athlete, which inevitably will help my performance as well. It's something that I've kind of touched upon, but not comparing yourself. I think it's really easy on social media to look at all the, you know, sub 60 high roxes that people are running and normalize that and like become disheartened by your times. And I think you don't know what background people have come from. You don't know how long people have been training. You know, I said running comes more naturally to me, so I'm running quick splits, but the people that come from a CrossFit background or a weight training background, I think you just have to focus on your own journey and improve what you need to improve. You know, don't follow all these like random templates because you don't know what you need to do to improve. So just focusing on your own journey is really important. It's taught me a lot and it's like completely changed who I am as a person. I think looking at who I was when I came to university, I mean, the time I've been at university is when I've really gone all in on this and like really wanted it. And it's completely changed my whole outlook on everything I do. I think I've learned to just like, it's taught me how I can just like be myself. You know, I don't need to fit in and go out and do all this just because everyone else my age is. I can do what I love to do, and there is always going to be a group of people that are like-minded, and it's given me that confidence to just really do what I want to do and like trust that process rather than doing things that I don't necessarily enjoy just because I feel like that's normal. I really picture where I want to be, and I think, you know, if I want to be that person that's like at the top, that's not the kind of person that would give in and would quit. And that's the kind of person that would give 100% to everything they do and each session that they do. And that kind of definitely keeps me going during the harder sessions. And then during the long, boring sessions, something that I always actually think about is like enjoy the repetitiveness and enjoy the boredom. Just like sit in it. I'm quite good at like sitting in emotion. Like I'm very aware of how I feel and accepting that and just sitting with it. So rather than being like, oh, I'm so bored, being like I am, and just enjoy that and just accept that, because that's part of being a top athlete. Like you're gonna have long, easy zone 2 sessions for hours and just enjoying that as part of the process. I think it's being very quick, very fast, but it's also just being completely disciplined and motivated and just fully committed to it. Like I'm really, really wanting it.